Hi everyone, my name is Haley and welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm actually filming at night because I didn't have any time to film over the weekend and I'm not going to have any time to film this weekend, so let me know how we feel about this lighting. I'm using the yellow setting on the ring light because I feel like the white is too harsh and I feel like the in-between of the white and the yellow is like washing me out. So let me know what you think of this yellow lighting, if you like it or not, because this is my first time using this ring light filming a video, so let me know. Before we get into this video, I just really wanted to reiterate the importance of doing your research and being fully informed on what is going on in the world right now. On a couple of videos ago, I had put a text image of things I wanted to say about Palestine and people you could follow to stay updated and get all of the accurate information that you could get from journalists on the ground, unbiased journalists, basically anyone that wasn't Western media, because as we've seen, Western media has been spinning the narrative. I just wanted to take a moment in the beginning of this video to please remind you guys to keep talking about Palestine, keep educating yourself. This is the most I've ever seen people talk about Palestine. As I've mentioned, half Palestinian, this is very important to me and I've always talked about it, but I'm seeing a lot more support than I ever have in my life, so it's definitely working. The boycotting is working. Starbucks, Disney, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, like any of the big things that you feel like you can boycott, please do. It's not something that you're going to be doing for 2 weeks. It will be a long time, but it's working. Try not to trust everything you see coming out of Western media and everything you see that is anti-Palestine. Schools, hospitals, refugee camps, residential homes, routes that Palestinians were told to take, all of these places are getting bombed. The hospitals have no electricity. Women are going to be giving birth and having C-sections with no anesthesia. People that are injured from these bombings won't be able to have medical treatment because there's nothing. They have nothing. Okay, so please keep talking about it. Please do what you can. Talk to your friends and family and just stay educated and stay informed. Please. That is all I ask of you. So we will get started on what this video is about. So as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about my November TBR, and my birthday month is November. I was born on November 14th. I'm gonna be 24 and I really don't like saying that out loud, but I thought it would be fun to choose my TBR based on like my most anticipated reads, which I feel like is kind of the point of a TBR, but I'm a big mood reader and so some of these have been on my TBR for a really long time. I just haven't picked them up, but out of all the books on my shelves, they are the ones I am the most excited about. So that is how I picked them. I don't care if I'm gonna be in the mood for them or not. I need to read them because it's my birthday month. Also, I feel like I've had a band-aid on in every video so far, like the past 3 videos, but my nail broke, so I'm trying to protect it. There are a lot of books on this list, and given current events in the world, I really have not been in the reading mood. This is an ambitious November TBR, is what I'm trying to say. But these are all books I'm really excited to read. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books here, which I feel like I can read 10 books in a month, but I haven't read a book this month yet and it's already the 2nd, so I guess we'll see how this goes. So the first book that I would like to read for my birthday month is The 100 Years' War on Palestine, A History of Settler Colonialism and Resistance 1917 to 2017 by Rashid Khalidi. I'm familiar with the history, but this is something I really want to annotate and like absorb like an academic book instead of a book for fun. I will have a lot of annotations and this is going to be a really good book I can lend to people if they want to learn more. I've been wanting to read this and it's definitely not going to be something I read in one sitting. It's going to be when I feel like really focusing and committing on to something and reading it academically, so this will probably be a full month thing. I have a lot of sequels on this list, so I might also do a reading sequels only reading vlog, so let me know if you'd also like to see that. But the next book on my list is All of Our Demise by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This is the sequel to All of Us Villains. Loved All of Us Villains so much, a 5-star book for me, and it's only a duology, so once I finish this it's over, and I think that's why I haven't finished it, but it's about time. I need to finish it, I need to know what happens, and I loved the first book so much, why wouldn't I read the second one during my birthday? You know what I mean? So I can't really tell you too much what it's about, but the first one is like the Hunger Games with magic. These 5 families are fighting to the death for control over the magic, and in their city for like a century or something like that. First one ended on a cliffhanger. That's also why I'm kind of scared to read this, but I think it'll be a good time, and I've literally had it for so long that I just need to get it off of my TBR. The next book I have is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I know that, I don't know if it's a sequel or a companion book, but there is another one coming out soon, and fall/winter is just the perfect time to read this. If you saw in maybe my last video or 2 videos ago, I talked about how obsessed I am and like my sister and my mom are with fairies, so this is right up my alley. When I think about myself and like what I feel like represents me, fairies is definitely on the top of the list. It would be like books, fairies, K-pop, dyed hair, makeup, anything that I'm interested in. Fairies is on the list. So I think this is going to be perfect for me, right up my alley, and I really just want a cozy fantasy, nothing too violent like a lot of fantasy books can be, because I do have a couple on here that might turn violent. So a cozy fantasy I feel like is exactly what I'll need to just make me feel like myself and have a good time. And then we have The Right Move by Liz Tomford. The third one in this series just came out and I need to buy it before the covers change. I don't know why they keep changing the covers on these books, but these ones are definitely better. This is the second one in the series and it follows Ryan and Indy. Ryan is the brother of the girl in the first book and Indy is the best friend of the girl in the first book. So they're like living together, forced proximity type thing, best friend's brother tropes that I love. And I just read Love Theoretically, which is by Ali Hazelwood, and she's one of my favorite romance authors, and the first book in this series was one of my favorite romance books as well. So I feel like without a new Ali Hazelwood, this is the next best thing. So I'm really excited to get into it. I've already read like a whole 12 pages, so I might as well get back into it and finish it. Next we have The Mountain and the Sea by Ray Naylor. I've talked about this a lot already, but it's about these scientists who go to study these octopus, and it turns out that they are super smart and they're trying to communicate with them and figure out what's going on. It says a near future thriller and a meditation on the nature of consciousness and an ecological call to arms. I think sometimes humans are very stupid and animals are very smart, and I'd love to read things that explore that a little bit more. This seems right up my alley. The next book is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, my most recent 5-star read. Again, I can't tell you too much about this, but I'm so excited to jump back into this world. It was perfect for spooky season, and so I feel like it'll still be perfect for the winter vibes because just like the dark academia aspect of it. I love dark academia, so I'm gonna be reading a genre I love. I'm gonna be reading a sequel of a book that I loved. I'm just hoping that the third book gets a release date soon because I can't wait that long between this one and the next one. So maybe I'll read this towards the end of the month to give myself a little bit more time, but I just was so immersed in this world. If you don't know, Ninth House is about this girl named Alex. She is recruited by the dean of Yale to come and be like a new recruit in their society, and their society is focused on making sure all of the other magical societies aren't doing anything they're not supposed to be doing. And there's a reason why she is recruited, and it's because she has like, she can see ghosts and stuff like that. So where we left off, she was not in the best place, and the premise of this just sounds like a really fun adventure, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I just know I'm gonna love it, so I think November is the perfect time to read it. Next is another sequel, and that is A Shadow Crown by Melissa Blair, the second book in the Halfling saga. The first one is A Broken Blade. The main character is like the king's assassin, but she gets roped up into a resistance, I guess, like a resistance group. I don't remember too much about what happened, if I'm being honest, and that's why I haven't read this yet. I need to do a Spark Notes or a reread of the first one. I loved it so much, I gave it 5 stars, and so basically how I picked my TBR is something I've been excited about or the sequel to something I gave 5 stars. So this falls under the 5 stars category. This is a fantasy series that I've really enjoyed, or at least I really enjoyed the first one. It can be a little bit daunting to go into a whole new fantasy series, so picking up a sequel I feel like will feel less overwhelming, especially if I already loved the first one. And I am just ready for a female character, badass character, fighting for freedom, fighting for the people, so I really hope to get to this. The next book we have is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I don't know why I want to read this so badly. Like, I didn't buy it when it first came out, I didn't give into the hype or anything, but for some reason it's been even calling to me. Like, I see it on my shelf across from me when I'm sleeping, well, when I'm awake in my bed when I should be sleeping, and it's calling to me. I don't know why. I feel like it's because I want something that might be a little bit more character driven, because some people say this is boring, and I can only imagine it's because it's a more character driven book versus plot driven. But like, I just want to be immersed in another dark academia school setting, so I feel like this is going to be perfect. And I've never read anything from Naomi Novik. It's pretty short. There's just something pulling me to it. Is it my intuition? Am I psychic? I'm not sure, but if I have this strong of a feeling about it, I feel like I should read it for my birthday month. Don't ask for any explanations. All I'm gonna say is because it's my birthday month. Also, I'm not even the type of person to be like, oh my god, it's my birthday month, like celebrate all month long. I am doing stuff the weekend before and the weekend after, but that's just because I work during the week and so do my friends. But I'm only saying my birthday month because the TBR is for the whole month. Disclaimer, okay? I just wanted to put that out there. The next book that I want to read is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I have always wanted to read this, and I actually bought this when I was in Washington 2 years ago visiting my best friend. So I've had this for 2 years and I've wanted to read it for even longer than that. It's not even a long book to begin with, and the font is pretty large and in charge, but I think since it's an illustrated version, it might read a little bit faster and be something to break up a lot of the just straight words on a page. So this will be a nice palette cleanser, not too long, and I feel like something that is going to be a fun time and not take itself too seriously. The last book on my TBR is The Blood Gift by N.E. Davenport. I am unoriginal, okay? I have talked about so many of these books already. It's mainly because I haven't read anything new lately and I want to buy more books, even though I literally just did a book haul. But anyway, that will probably happen on my birthday. The first book in this series is The Blood Trials, which was an amazing book, fantastic. Still think about it to this day. And it's only a duology, again, like All of Us Villains. So that's why I haven't read this yet, because once I read it, it's over. And I might not know what to do with myself at that point. I really want to read it. And I know it's going to be like an adventure, because where they left off, they're kind of like SOL. So I just want to see how they're going to deal with it. There's like enemies to friends that's going on. And I'm like, okay, very interesting. I want to see this develop more. Again, I can't really tell you what it's about, but the first one follows our main character, Ikenna, and she was participating in the blood trials. Let me read you the first one, okay? If you ever need someone to explain something like right off the bat with no preparation, I should be the very last person on that list. This is the first one, and it says, blending fantasy and science fiction, N.E. Davenport's fast-paced, action-packed debut kicks off a duology of loyalty and rebellion in which a young black woman must survive deadly trials and a racist and misogynistic society to become an elite warrior. So that's what she does in the first book, is participate in these trials to become a warrior. I won't say anything else. It was so good, and you should read it. And I'm gonna read it for my birthday month because I love myself. I don't have a lot of books. I feel like 10 books is a good amount to have on a TBR, but I know some people have like 30. But I don't want to give myself a lot of room to like pick and choose. I feel like 10 is a good amount because I can only pick and choose out of 10, and that's not a lot. So I'm hoping to read at least 5. I'm gonna see if I can get some of them on audio, and I just want to read books that I am really excited for. I am not very good at sticking to TBRs because, like I mentioned, I am a mood reader, but I have been excited for these for at least a year or more, or 6 months or more, so even if I'm not in the mood to read, I'll be excited to read, if that makes sense. So hopefully it can make me want to read. Is that girl math? And is it mathing? Let me know if there would be like a better way to pick my December TBR besides the TBR jar. I'm trying to find some new ways to spice up picking a monthly TBR so it's a little bit more exciting and not the same thing every month. So let me know if you'd like to see like my boyfriend pick out my TBR, my parents, my sister, my friends. If you'd like to see a letter filter to pick out my TBR, I feel like that could be fun. But for this month, it's going to be all about me. These are the books that I want to read because it's my birthday month. So I don't think there needs to be any more explanation about why I chose them, and you can't do anything about it. So that's all I have for this video. Let me know what is on your November TBR, if you've read any of these books, what you thought, and what book you loved the most in October. That's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. I hope you are all staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!